What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I wanted to make this video because I'm seeing all the comments and I understand a lot of players are struggling. They're getting frustrated with the game. It makes sense. Trust me, I feel your pain and I want to help you out. First off, if anybody's coming from FC, then they already know the difference between getting in immediate games and having to wait 3, 4, 7, 8, 15, whatever it is, minutes for a game. So you're already frustrated going in, but we are working to change that. Obviously, we're trying to get through to strikers. They make the changes we want and that can help the game, make the additions that can boost the player base, and these wait times will start going down. So we're still on that mission. In the meantime, this is what we have, and it is the same with the gameplay. But I'm going to give you some simple, immediate fixes that will give you immediate success. Now, you're still going to face the players like this, which you can tell by the stat line. He is a park the bus, sit back, try to get one shot a game and maybe score it. I have no idea how players can waste their time, waste their life doing this. Like, what is the point? Mr. S-Man from Hope, please do something with your life. There's no way that this could be fun for you. You literally, and there's many players, this is just an example, you literally are doing nothing. You're holding a controller in your hand, holding down R1, right? And then getting just stomped on for an entire game while the other player tries to play football. And then you try to run down the field one time. Every other time you got stopped. That one time you got lucky enough to run down the field and you couldn't even get a shot on goal. Even if you did get that shot on goal, even if you scored, let's say, there's no skill in it. There's no point in it. You can't go anywhere playing like that. Please do better with your life. It makes no sense. Now, are these players going to listen? No, because for them to even get to this point where they would even waste their time playing like this, they're a special type of loser. So we're going to have to deal with that. But it doesn't mean we can't just pepper them in practice. And if you lose because of how UFL is right now, do not sweat it. At least you're not one of these players. They can take those wins any day of the week. In the meantime, we're going to work on getting better at football, getting better at football games. That's what I'm going to show you. But I wanted to say, if you lose to one of these types of players 1-0 and that one shot he got happens to go in another circumstance, don't worry about it. Trust me, you'd way rather be in your shoes trying to play the right way, getting better at the game, than taking advantage of a broken defense right now and wasting your time for one shot in an entire game and just sitting back the rest of the time holding R1. It makes no sense. So now that we're past that, right, I know it's frustrating, especially when you lose to these type of players. It's even frustrating when you tie them, right? But just understand that's where the game's at. Keep doing your thing and then move on. Now, starting with defense, do not dive in. You literally block the passing lane while you're getting your AI assist. So you're holding R1 with the player near the defender, and then with the next player, you are blocking the passing lane. If they want to go for some random cross because they're frustrated, go ahead. As long as a guy's not wide open, you'll win the ball, you head it out, you move on from there. But you do not want to dive in and give them a free chance to dribble at your goal or get a shot off or find an open pass that they otherwise wouldn't. Block the passing lane and get your AI assist to put pressure on the player. It's as simple as that. Once they start trying to force crosses or force through balls, then you're in business because you know you're frustrating the opponent. And last thing I want to point out from this clip, notice the lack of attackers, right? That's the exact reason you don't want to dive in. It's the exact reason you want to do what I said and use your AI assist while covering the passing lane with another player, because these players, especially the ones that sit back, they're counting on that one chance. Do not give them an opportunity they don't deserve. Be patient. Don't dive in. Use your AI assist. Block any type of passing lane. There's limited attackers. You'll win the ball with patience, and you move on from there and get into the attack. Speaking of attack, remember, many teams are sitting back, so it's going to be frustrating at times. There's nothing you can do except for keep peppering your opponent and trying to break through. There's going to be a lot of block shots, a lot of getting stopped just by sheer numbers, but it is what it is. Keep working, and then if you use the same defensive principles I told you, you will be fine. But don't get away from playing the right way. The number one thing that people do is they start forcing it in the attack. They start rushing in the attack because they're frustrated, and they cost themselves. You need to just follow these same simple principles, and you will be fine. First one is work the ball outside in or inside out. It will spread the opponent's defense. Now, if you see my videos on multi-formation setups, you'll know what I did here. I switched from my defensive shape to my 3-5-2, so I had numbers in the attack. It allows me to work the ball wide, work the ball to the middle. If you haven't watched those videos, I strongly suggest you do, because it will really help, especially against these sit-back teams, which are prominent right now. Notice in this example that this shot was created because I played the ball out wide, pulling the defender's attention out wide, and then it opened that lane up to shoot. Now, it was a bad shot and went wide, but the chance is what matters. You keep creating them, and you will eventually score them. Now, the next thing is the sweet spot. I want to talk about where you want to get the ball, which is right around that half circle at the top of the 18. Then you can either fake turn left and go right, or fake turn right and go left. You can fake shot turn. There's a ton of options. But when you get the ball in this sweet spot here and go to either way, you are going to get a ton of goals. Now, you can't go directly for that spot to your striker every single time, because your opponent will be able to tell. So how do you mix it up? You mix it up with certain plays where you drive that inline, because you still create a dangerous scoring chance by driving the inline and playing a cutback pass. Then your opponent starts to worry about that. It starts opening up that spot at the top of the box. The reason why it's so dangerous is because there's a lack of fluidity on the defense in UFL. So when you get that ball in this area, it's extremely hard for the defender to keep up with you. So a fake shot and keep going, or just continue your run going until you have an opening. But as long as you're patient with it, you don't force the shot in that top of the arc area, you should be able to break through more often than not and get a ton of goals from here. It is very simple. You just receive the ball at the top of the box, you do a fake shot, or you continue your run going one way or the other, maybe fake one direction, go the other. It's just simple movements like that, and because of the lack of ability, a lack of fluidity from the defender, you're going to be able to break through. And last but not least, use your subs. Because of how bad the stamina is, your players are going to get drained. Do not let that be a reason you get dribbled by and scored on because you didn't pause the game and sub your players that need to be subbed. Make sure you remember this. Get in the habit of it. Otherwise, you're going to have a game that's a close game, or where you had the game won, and next thing you know, a player just dribbles by your defender like a cone, and it's all because you didn't take the time to pause the game and switch out your tired players. So, follow these simple steps, and you will immediately see more success out on the pitch. I guarantee you that. Do not let the sit-back rats, the exploiters, the glitchers, the cheats, do not let them chase you from the game. They are the losers. Even if they win a game that way, they are the losers. So, don't worry about it. Brush it off and move on. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep having fun. And I'll see you next time. Peace.